Hey everyone, it's Moonkin FTW and welcome back to another episode of the RCT3 Coaster Challenge. In this episode we're tackling the flying coaster, which I'm actually quite happy to try out because I don't think I've ever made, or at least I think I've either made this one a very long time ago, or I've never made it at all. So this is going to be a good, nice challenge for me to try and make a decent coaster. And the flying coaster is very nice roller coaster in RCT3. You can have some amazing POVs, but unfortunately it's also quite limited compared to something like the extended coaster or the twisted coaster. So you don't have a lot of inversions, you have half loops and you have twists, and that's it. But still, I think I was able to make a decent design here, but I am going to change this a little bit later on. The layout is quite nice because I do want a few twists here and there, but I'm not 100% sold on this, so I'll change this a little bit later. So I want to have a final twist at the brake run, so that is now completed. And there's another thing that I'm going to change here, and I really like this element that I'm going to make right here. So it's going to be a little bit different because I'm trying to figure out, okay, how can I do this? It's not quite working out, so I made the turn the other way, and now you have this really cool kind of ribbon loop, if you will, and it looks pretty awesome. So I really like the layout of this. I think it's quite nice, and happy with the way it turned out. Now, last episode I said I want to focus on a bit more theming, or I think it's not this episode, but episode 10, where I said I want to focus on a bit more theming, and that's what I'm going to do this episode. So I have a theme in mind for this one. I want it to be kind of like a medieval / Dracula style roller coaster, and you'll see that as we go along. So I'm going to make kind of a castle here for the station and the queue. So you start off in the castle, it's not gonna perfectly resemble Dracula's castle or anything like that, but it's gonna have that kind of like spooky, creepy vampire vibe, if you will, which works really nicely with this set that RCT3 has. And yeah, we're just gonna build it. And you know what, I'm really bad at theming because I just barely ever do it, so I'm gonna try and do my best here to make sure that doesn't look too awkward and too out of place. But as we go through these designs, or any future designs that I'm making with theming, you're going to see me flipping through the menu a lot, looking at, okay, what can I use? Because I'm just not familiar with all these pieces, because like I said, I barely ever use them. So going to have to improvise, going to have to do everything right off the cuff. So while I have maybe an idea for theming, I'm really going to have to figure out what I actually have in terms of pieces that I can use to make that theme. Now, the color scheme I had in mind for this roller coaster was purple with black. I think that's also kind of, I don't know, like a horror Dracula-esque color scheme. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but I like it. Thought about making it, black and red, because red can represent like the blood, that the vampires draw. But I never ever use purple and black. So it's like, yeah, that's really unique. I've never done that before. I wanna do it that way. I also decided to make the brake run indoor, so as soon as you're done with the run, you hit the final twist and bam, you're in the brake run, and then you're indoor again. I thought that was a cool idea. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and basically, how do you say, make the roller coaster completely surrounded by castle walls. So you're not just in this castle, you're kind of in this, I guess, a fortress, if you will. And then you'll see on the outside, as we go through this roller coaster, I'm also going to, just like a regular fortress or a settlement, you're gonna have houses within the walls, within the city walls. So I think that was a really cool idea, but you'll see that as we go along, because I'm still finishing up the castle here. Now, when it comes to inverted roller coasters, I'm just going to use JCat Steelworks, because building custom supports for inverted roller coasters can take a lot of time, and I mean a lot of time. I've made a few, and they can get very time consuming. And like I said in previous episodes, I don't want this to I don't want this to take a whole lot of time, because I'm trying to do a decent design for each and every single roller coaster, and there's a lot of roller coasters in the game, so I'm just looking to make it a decent look. And admittedly, these supports from JCat Steelworks, these inverted frames, are actually quite nice looking, so they do the job just fine. They're not perfect, but they're actually quite okay for what they are. And if you compare them to the standard supports from RCT3, the difference is night and day. So I'm okay with using these for now. It's good enough. And now you can see that purple and black color scheme taking place. I think it looks super cool, and yeah, I'm generally a fan of it. Now here I'm gonna try and mess with a few separate pieces, because first I thought, oh, you have these pre-made, already done kind of theming, but I just didn't think it looked quite good. There's also one where there's it's like a castle on a hill, but that doesn't make much sense if I have a big castle right next to it. So I was just going to make the spooky whatever theme it's called to make my own houses, which again, costs a bit more time. But I figured, I want to do proper theming. I want to do it right, and I want to have this kind of village incorporated into this, this area that you're flying through, because I think that's also kind of like a really cool concept. Because the focus is this medieval style Dracula. So the floorless coaster, the flying coaster, you're kind of resembling a bat. You start from the castle, you transform from a vampire into a bat, and then you fly around this small village, if you will. I'm not sure if that makes any sense to you guys, but I thought it was a pretty cool kind of idea, and I hope you guys like this, including this section right here with these two half loops. It's kind of like somewhat of a pretzel loop, if you will, but you're flying through this house. I think it's going to look really cool in the POV, but we'll see if that's actually the case. I'm also going to add some fog here to add some mystery and some, like some horror elements, if you will. I'm just going to use that to my advantage. So I'm going to use pathing all around to also use that to my advantage. And now I'm going to build the castle wall. Now I thought about using these round castle towers, but I just can't quite figure it out. So what I'm going to do is just going to drop that idea. I'm going to make these simple kind of block walls, if you will. And again, I really like the pre-save function, because I can just copy paste this wall design, and I'm going to wall off the entire ride. So basically the entire ride is walled off, just like the small village. It's like a fortress, if you will, like a small citadel. And I think it's just going to add to the theming. So all in all, I think it's turning out to be a great ride. I think it looks amazing. And of course, in each corner, just like a fortress or whatever, I'm going to make a watchtower or something like that to further add to the effect. Now, when it comes to the inside, here I wanted to also add some texture. So because it's kind of like a creepy vibe, I want some maybe some darker textures, and also these dead trees. I think these dead trees also really help with the vibe of this this area. You got these creepy houses, you got some dead trees, you got this castle. So I think it looks quite awesome, actually, to pack this much scenery into this space where you're gonna fly around with this flying coaster. It's gonna look pretty sick. But that's just my humble opinion. You guys can be the judge of that when we go through this POV. But yeah, I'm genuinely happy with the way it's turning out so far. Very awesome styling, and yeah, it was really fun to make this, because again, I never ever use scenery like this. I never use it, and I don't know why. Like I said, maybe it's just because I think I'm not good at it, and therefore I don't use it. But honestly, if you're looking at this, I think it's actually quite nice for someone that barely ever uses it. So I'm just going to add the catwalk here, and I think that will be it. And then we can move on to the POV. Let's see how that looks. Catwalk here, of course, for the brake run as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I think this looks really nice. You got a big castle here, which is where the station is at. It resembles this Dracula theming, and it matches a flying coaster really well, because you can imagine yourself being a bat flying around the town, looking for blood and victims and whatever not. I just think it looks super awesome. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. So let's check out the POV. I'm gonna of course save this as well, but we're gonna go ahead and enjoy the POV. And yeah, I hope you guys like it. Well guys, and there you have it, a medieval / Dracula themed flying coaster. And that is episode 12 in the bag. Already quite far, but we still have many designs to build. But for now, I want to thank you for watching this video. Hope you like this design and have yourself a wonderful day.